A little bit of a different look today. So recently we've seen OpTic Chicago go to battle against teams like Atlanta and Dallas and New York and Florida, and that's kind of been what we've been paying attention to over the last couple of weeks. But in today's video, I figured we would switch it up a little bit, and they went through the hardpoint maps, the 4 hardpoint maps, multiple times against some top AMs. So they are playing in this one against Phantoms, Jimbo, Dylan Rex, and SIBILANTS, and these were pretty competitive. On the smaller maps like Crossroads, they really didn't do great. This is one that OpTic Chicago ended up winning, but they jumped out a little bit early, then they were forced to make a comeback, and I figured since most of the time we're covering Crossroads or we're covering Moscow or whatever, it would just be good for us to watch Checkmate, and that's what we're doing today. So as we get into the actual breakdown here, oh, and by the way, just to kind of make sure we're all familiar with who we're watching here, Sib is actually the substitute player for the Atlanta Faze. He played on AF Academy the majority of last year during the Modern Warfare season. Also, Jimbo is part of the AF Academy team. As of right now, I don't believe Dylan Rex and Phantoms have a squad at the moment, but they're always playing in these challengers tournaments that you see going on and everything. So I'm sure you're familiar with them, but I just wanted to make sure that we had a little bit of a basis here before we get into this one. So actual analysis here. Pretty good start so far for OpTic Chicago. They do have a 30-point lead, but they have spawns for P2, and they didn't spawn on these spawns, right? They didn't start on this right-hand side of the map. They spawned left side, so they were able to get inside, get time inside of P1, and as they did that, they just pushed out the right-hand side of the map, and they were able to hold down those spawns, which has given them this 40-point lead here to start this first matchup on Checkmate. Now, as we go forward, this goes back underneath the plane. I've done this, I think it was 2 days ago. It was a video where I kept calling this map Crewmate. I don't know why, it just sticks in my head. I don't know why I can't call it Checkmate instead of Crewmate. But on this one, I talked a little bit about how I don't love the hardpoint setup on this map. I don't like the fact that now P3 is back to the middle of the map. I get that P1 was in the side of the plane, but now P3's inside wings, and it's just another one of those contested hardpoints that's right in the middle of the map. And then when we go to P4, it's on the top side of the map again, so it's not quite in the same spot as P2, but it's on that top side, and it's another contested hardpoint. And then eventually, when it goes to P5, that's a money hill kind of on the bottom left-hand side of this map, as Envoy's absolutely frying. I mean, when this guy's feeling it, he hardly misses any shots. But when you're playing this as a whole, P2 and P5, those are the hills that you really have to cash in on, right? Those are the two money hills. Sure, you can get time inside of P2, you can get time inside of P4 if you're able to push up outside of the hill and get some spawn kills as the enemy team comes up off of spawns, but those are the hills that you really just can't rely upon, and you'll see it here over the next 60 seconds. You saw it with P3. Sure, Sib's team was able to get the majority of time inside of P3, but all in all, they only got like 25-30 seconds. Now, inside of P4, they're doing much better. I love the fact that Envoy went up top to get that guy, Jimbo, who is sitting up top and just trying to get spawn kills as OG came out of their base. But so far, this has been a really good P3 and P4 rotation, and if you're Sib's team, all you really have to do is just watch what's coming out off of spawn, right? If you're like what you just saw right there out of Jimbo, if you're just sitting up on the wings and you're able to get kills as they come out of spawns, that's how you end up getting time inside a hill like P4, which is normally pretty contested. Let's go ahead and let's pause this and bring up our minimap for the first time today. So as you guys are watching this, let's just talk about P4. So P4 is up here on the top hand side of the map, and as we're watching this, this is one of those hills that's usually fairly contested like we just talked about, but you can also control this from each side. So let's say that we're Sib's team and we're getting this back left spawn. So you get up, you get inside of P4, and now you have somebody set up inside P4 in one of these corners like this. Now, once you have that, if you're able to push forward, so you get somebody out maybe into this corner, or as we saw with Jimbo, up on top of this right plane wing right here, then now once you get in these scenarios, you could also have somebody camped underneath, right? If you're underneath the plane wings, there's a couple head glitches there where you can hide. So if you get set up, now that you're there, you can just go through and you can get spawn kills as OpTic tries to get outside of P2, which is where they flipped for that second hard point. Now, just to go through this one more time, remember, this can also be held from the other side. It doesn't have to be held from the left. So as we're watching this here, if you're OpTic and you're coming out of these spawns and you get inside of P4, if you're working it the other way, then you can push forward and you can set up on headies that are right here. You can also get somebody back behind these back plane stairs. And this is a really dominant head glitch right here as you're trying to catch the opposite team that's coming out of spawn. Then, of course, you can go somebody top plane wing on the opposite side and just watch the push in these directions as they try to escape their base and get underneath plane to P1 or P3. So this is one of those hills where, sure, it's probably best to be on the left-hand side, because as we move on here, we're going back to the opposite side, right? You'd probably want to approach this from the left-hand side of the map, because now you would have spawns for P5. As it goes to P5, we talked about the money hills being P2 and P5, but even if you don't have it from the left-hand side, you could ultimately get time inside of that P4 hardpoint. That's a big kill right there out of ENVOY. That's going to allow, there's one more there, but that team will not be getting that spawn. Since they pushed back, like you just saw ENVOY right there, ENVOY was able to come up off of spawns and be in that back location just because he was able to get the kill from the guy that jumped out of treehouse. And they're still spawning here, which is kind of odd. Once he went down once or twice, you kind of figured that would be enough, but he should be able to get in and just kind of play sneaky. So he gets the first kill. Obviously, right now, they know that he's there, so they're going to be reverting back. But, man, that's another weird spawn. So right behind ENVOY, they came in off of spawns again, and we saw somebody inside of wood. So a little bit of a, I don't know, a touch and go spawn right there. But essentially what started that is he was able to get the kill from underneath wood. Once that happened, he pushed over towards back P5. Once he was back there, the spawns came in for his team. OpTic ultimately ended up losing that team gun battle, which is why they spawned out over towards the bottom of P2 on the right-hand side of the map. Then ENVOY was just able to finesse, get the kill inside of P5, and the rest is kind of history from there. So as you're watching this transition, it's basically a tie ball game as we head into the second set of rotations here. You saw ENVOY trying to push up towards P4 because, sure, you want to make sure that you're getting time or at least contesting inside of P1, but we've talked a couple times already about how P2 and P5 are the money hills. So you saw him trying to push up towards P4, trying to get up the top side of the map so they could get back behind P2 and get those spawns, work those spawns that are back there. But you don't want to do that at the cost of giving up time inside of P1, and that's what you're watching him do right here. But best thing about scrims, and we don't get to see this map very often, normally we're breaking down Crossroads or Moscow or one of the other maps, but I do want to go ahead and I want to listen in because I want to hear what they're saying on this map and what they're trying to do. I want you guys to be able to listen into their communication. So with that, let's go ahead, let's turn up the team comms as we continue from P2 into P3 here on the second set of rotations.
That's my bad. If I had played my life in Hill there, that would have went a lot better. I just didn't try to push
yeah, left wing.
I'm
gonna go jump up on him right now.
He's weak as fuck, right wing.
Left wing dead.
Nice.
One more top plane.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he got me. Fuck. He's our side plane, Challenge. Hear that? I'm looking for that. He's close left.
And that's a really nice job out of Dylan Rex and Jimbo of just sitting up top, controlling that P1 area as it's in P2. And the more kills that they got from up inside of P1, not only did that spawn OpTic back further, but it made it really tough for them to cross that open area by P4 to even get inside of P2 and try to contest. Just a really nice job there towards the middle of the map to control that and get themselves a nice lead here.
Then that guy, one more top plane. Top plane, Dylan Rex. One shot top plane.
Killed Jim out of town.
Let's go. Nice, last guy. I push back right, guys. They're all 20 back left. I have their stairs.
Back left, dude.
Yo, top
Can't even
plane.
fucking get set up. Back left.
Dead
Shot. One top plane.
No,
also.
fuck. Top plane, Finn and Finn. Last guy, Finn.
Should wrap
Be
us
right
here,
One's
dude.
there.
Yeah.
In Hill. Not weak.
I'm wrapping left, guys.
One shot, Sib. Nice. Two.
Top point down next to Nice. I just gave up that fucking time. I'm left with you. There's gonna be here.
Back left.
Yeah, I'm pinching him.
And new Phantom's weak. And new Phantom's weak.
On the then.
Nice spawners.
Yep, nice.
One weak at the
I'm laying down their side time.
Last guy.
I'm watching over you.
Hang on. I'm about to get top plane, guys. Okay, one's two, one's under plane. One's under plane. Go next under plane.
Plane dead.
Yeah, yellow crate, one shot. Two there. He's in
Trying to
time.
get trophies on you.
Oh, that was so fast, bro.
Every push no.
One more close to Phil.
One shot hill, Jimbo, absolute.
Yeah, I need time.
I went low plane.
Dead. One more
One's
top
top
lane.
plane.
I killed him out of hill though. Try not to let him in the hill.
Top plane, left side. Watch out, Granite. No.
Top plane. Oh, you're good. You're good.
Top plane. I have spot. Top plane, Phantom still. Oh no. Top plane still. I don't think other side though.
Helmet.
Yo,
top yellow crate. Nice.
Dead.
Yo, it's deep right plane. What's top plane, I think?
Yeah, top right wing, I think. Top right wing. I don't see him low.
I'm dead. Wing just shot me.
That right there, trying to get back inside of P4, that was a really nice job from ENVOY of not just ramming this P4 head point, this P4 hard point right on head over and over again, right? If he just continues to approach that from the top hand side of the map, there's a really good chance that he wouldn't have been successful there. So instead of doing that, he went down towards P3 and he was able to get spawners as Sib and his squad came out of their spawn by P2 to try to work their way back towards P4. So by cutting off those spawners, he was able to get a couple kills. His teammates were also able, we saw Formal with a 2-piece there, and when you cut off the spawners as they come in from their spawn location, then you can get inside and get time inside that hard point. And it really was only possible because ENVOY realized rather than just hit the front of P4 over and over again, he was going to go bottom P3 plane and kill those reinforcements as they came in off of spawn.
Wait, guys.
I should up all the time.
I'm weak in time.
Crossing the hill, Jimbo. Really weak.
Get up, get up.
Top wing again? Or top
plane, Sib.
There's steps, phantoms. There's steps,
Yo,
phantoms.
Our plane stairs. Our plane stairs.
Got me. Don't know. Two there stairs. Fuck.
I thought someone else had time.
All good. I got one there stairs.
One our side plane.
Another one there
Yeah, our
stairs.
side plane, I'm pretty sure.
Underplane.
Underplane. Bottom plane, Sib. Watch out, bottom plane, Sib, absolutely. Coming left to you.
So at this point in time, they did a nice job inside of P4 and inside of P5 of being able to make it a competitive game. Now as we enter the third set of rotations, it's basically a tie ball game. So they have to go big inside of P1 and try to get a dominant location for P2. As of right now, they're spawning out on the left-hand side. Let's see if they're able to make that flip and how they're able to make that flip.
Yeah. I'm playing right. Yo, left wing right now. Jimbo hurt. Wow. He chowed.
I have their door.
I'm pushing through.
We're still spawning out. Parallels probably. Could be our stairs.
Yo, wing or Finn.
Nothing our stairs.
I don't think he knows you're in the back.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Matt's in the back right now, guys. Play kills.
I'm just like
close. One shot. He's challenging. If you die, hold your cam, okay, after the hill pop.
Yo, there's stairs.
Kill one on time.
One was there's stairs.
I'm gonna use that thing on.
You know where
right? One guy's A-search, guys.
Yo, one's pushing you, Matt.
Come on, man. One's back right crate.
Yeah, one's in the back. Jimbo's in the back.
Nice. Deep spawn. I'm playing two. A-search.
Yo,
one deep right. Deep right hurt. In yellow.
A-search, one shot, guys. You guys need to hit the hill. One more A-search. Go.
Yeah, one deep right somewhere.
Running A-search. Let's try and push that hill, okay, you guys.
I'm in the front.
Deep right.
They're still in yellow, right?
It's still one guy. He's hurt.
Nice job. Respawn here.
Nice trade there from Dashy, and with that, the spawns do come in. So that was just the longest flank of all time, trying to get those back spawns. Now we'll see if they're able to hold it. But just to, one more time, bring up our mini-map, just so you guys can see exactly what happened right there. So they were inside of P1, and rather than like go back stairs and try to hit by air right here, rather than do that, you saw them off of spawn when they were spawning back by P5, just hit all the way around this bottom right hand side of the map. And once they got back there, they basically just played trades, right? They had people, so SIBILANTS team had people back in these back locations, but once you get through here and you start hitting like these ADOM locations right here, once you get there and you're starting to be able to trade out these kills, once that happens, as soon as you win those trades and you're the last team, once P2 has popped, you're the last team that's back on this right-hand side of the map, those are the spawns you're going to get, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw ENVOY hit inside of P2. He got traded out by Dashy, and then once that happened, they got those back spawns, and then they were able to take over and begin controlling that time inside of P2. And at this point in time, they only need 10 seconds left. They know that they just have to watch their front P2 push. There's no other way that they can come from, right? They've only got 4 seconds. They have to get inside. Oh, it was contested right there for a second. Scump is able to kill it. So had they been able to get that contest for just a couple minutes, just a couple seconds, they might have been able to bring it back. I mean, that could have been really close, but look at some of the damage. Sibilants had 7,100 damage. Just to put that into perspective, Envoy had 5,600 damage and he had 48. He dropped a 50 bomb with 5,600 damage. I don't know exactly what the numbers are here because this is just the way that the scoreboards work in Treyarch games, but I'd imagine that kill total was pretty high right there for Sibilants. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching some of these top AMs. These guys are super talented. They're showing over and over again that they can compete on this level. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the Challengers Cup also. And with that, if you're new around here, you enjoy this sort of content, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I put out brand new videos every single day covering the Call of Duty scene just like this. Leave a like as it helps out the channel. And with that, guys, thank you so much. We will see you in tomorrow's upload.